and welcome back to Galena Beauty, my YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in. I hope everyone's doing well despite this whole quarantine, being stuck in the house. I hope you guys are doing cool new things, learning new skills, trying to stay calm, ridding all of your anxiety. I'm here back at you with another YouTube tutorial. So let's jump right in. I actually already did my foundation, as you can see, and I actually also did my eyebrows and the primer. So what I'm gonna do is actually put the actual baking powder onto my eyelids to set the primer. As you can see, I don't want any creases in here and it can look a little funky. So let's get started. I'm gonna start with the Fenty Beauty setting powder here. It's in the color banana, as you can see, and I'm just gonna spread it all over. Then I'm just gonna take a simple Morphe brush like this, dip a little bit in the actual powder, and lightly apply it to my eyelid. Any extra you have on there, you're gonna just kind of brush it off lightly with this Morphe brush and make sure it's blended in and set in. As you can see here, this quarantine has kind of got me a little crazy, so I'm just drinking my handy dandy margarita to stay. So we're gonna start with the 351 Icy Fancy Morphe palette to kind of get started. I want to really focus in on this kind of icy blue eyeshadow look. You can do this for the spring. It's a transition color from kind of this winter into the spring. And I hope you guys like it. Let's check it out. So we're gonna kind of start with a foundational color to set in place the actual blue coloring. So we're gonna start with this one right here. And you're just gonna lightly go into the crease like that and do a motion of back and forth, almost like a rainbow. And don't get too high up right here because you just still wanna leave that look cleaned up. And we're just gonna make sure it's evenly on both sides. Great foundation color. Then I'm gonna go in kind of with this mint green color to just lighten up the look. I don't want it to be too dull, so I just make sure that I add in this minty blue green. Now, if you can't really see it, like I can't really see it, you may just want to kind of dig in a little bit more on the palette to get that color. There we go. Look at how beautiful that looks, especially with the blend. And then we're gonna add it to the other lid. You see the difference? This has more blue, and then this has that kind of icy mint on top. Then we're gonna kind of take this gray color right in the corner and add it to the crease to kind of blend out this blue mix. That way it looks a little bit more natural and it's not so loud with the colors. Doing pretty good. Then we're gonna go back in and add this light blue color right here on the top of the lid. That way you have all the colors kind of blended together. And lastly, we're gonna kind of add this mint green to the corners just to even out all the colors and make sure it's nicely blended together. It's very subtle, but it still blends in very nicely, as you can see. And don't worry about the spillage around the eyes. We're gonna clean that up later. Let's take another sip. Then I'm gonna take my putty eye primer from e.l.f. and do a cut crease. And just let it dry for a couple of seconds, just because you want to make sure it doesn't smudge when you're putting on your foundation. I'm sorry, your eyeshadow. And I'm just gonna kind of clean up my brows on this side. So we're just gonna go back in with this small brush by Morphe. Take a little bit more of the setting powder by Fenty Beauty and dab that onto the lid. Don't worry about the eyeshadow that's there. You're gonna lightly brush off this powder and it's gonna look normal. Then I'm gonna take this little brush right here. I know it's kind of dirty, don't judge me. And I'm gonna go in with this light white pastel color and put it on top.
Then you should check out eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you freedom.
I love how it blends so nicely on the lid and it looks so natural. Wow. And just make sure you add it to the other side. Lightly dab it on there and then evenly spread it throughout. And then just to add a little bit more hue to the lid, I'm gonna go back in with this golden color right here. And go back over the crease right here. Very, very light, very, very subtle, but it definitely makes a difference. And I'm going back over on the edges right here, and then making sure it's blended throughout. So what are everyone's plans for Easter? I know we're not able to actually leave the house. We have that shelter in place order given by the governor. But I want to know if you're making your significant other any like type of cuisine or what you guys are cooking you know, in place of what's going on. You know, life still goes on even though we're under quarantine. You know, I just want to make sure everyone's still living their life and not really being kind of in this dark place. So in the comments, just let me know what you guys are cooking for your significant other. Then we're gonna kind of just smoke out the eyes. So we're gonna add this purple and gray. I kind of mixed the two of them together and just kind of go in and add some to the corners. Nothing too much, but it adds a little bit of seduction, I think, to the corner lid. Super fun. And we're all set with the eyes. Then we're gonna kind of take our brush, our Morphe brush, underneath the lid and dust off any extra eyeshadow that may be there as we prep our concealer. Then we're gonna take our creaseless Tarte under eye concealer, which I love, which does amazing things, and simply put it underneath the eye. Make sure you get all of that extra eyeshadow that you left when doing the eyes, and kind of make a little straight line across, just like that. Then you can edit back the eyebrows after you're done. And I'm gonna then just do the other eye. And they said don't forget to do the side of your nose as well, even though we're gonna go back in with a darker color, just to help with the contour. And then we're gonna take this Pro Concealer in the color Chestnut 986 and kind of fill in with the contour. Just do a dab right there at the crown of the head. Just kind of circle it throughout. And then you're gonna keep going around the face. Have you guys been following Tory Lanez's Instagram page where he does quarantine radio? I heard it got shut down. He got over like 350K people live at once, and that like beat Taylor Swift's record. And everyone knows I don't necessarily care for Taylor Swift, so I'm like super happy about that. So we're just gonna let this sit for a couple seconds. just because you want to be able to easily blend in the contour. Also, I'm going to go back in with underneath the eye and add a little bit of this e.l.f. putty because I kind of want to darken it up a little bit underneath the eye and make sure it doesn't crease. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my Morphe setting mist and spray my beauty blender to blend everything in. So we're going to start with underneath the eyes. I love how evenly this blends. And you're going to press it into your skin instead of rubbing it because you don't want to take off any of the product. And then I'm going to take my another Morphe brush and I'm going to just blend in the product on the sides.
I'm just going back in and just making sure that this is even and blend it in nicely.
I'm just going back and adding in a little bit more darker contour because I want this to look natural. I don't want it to look like crazy highlight. I want to still add in that natural contour on the side.
I want to give you an example of how marketing and Squarespace together gave me this dream life. This video is for
So it looks
entering college,
normal.
students about to graduate, or
Here we go.
entering a career transition. So what
As you can tell, this is a little bit of a process. Stay patient and trust the process. Make sure you're blending in evenly throughout.
what stage of your career development you are at, but these are the
And we're going to use the setting powder to set this in. So I'm going to take the Beauty Blender and set in the setting powder. So you lightly dab it underneath the eye. And I didn't spray it. Usually when I spray it, it goes on evenly, so I just sprayed it. Yeah, that's much better. Ooh, this feels amazing on as well. And if that's kind of not evenly spreading, I'll just take my brush and go back over it like that. And even though this smells amazing, I accidentally always breathe it in, and it's like so crazy. Just do a heart right here because you love yourself. And then go over your lip. Cover that mustache, girl. As you guys can see, my nails are looking crazy. They're super outgrown. I literally need someone to come in and make a house call. Because this is just, I can't live like this anymore. Look at this craziness. 2 broken nails. And look at how I messed. My manicure is still like intact on this side, but this side is crazy. So we're just gonna let the setting powder set for about 5-10 minutes. Make sure that, you know, we're even. It's not too crazy. Gonna set my margarita over here. This is strong and I'm definitely feeling it. So my boyfriend and I normally go out to eat probably like 3 times a week, including the weekends. And it's just, I was there yesterday cooking, and, you know, I made steak and macaroni and cheese and greens. And then, you know, the next day I made fish and rice and asparagus. And though I definitely can cook, and he can attest to this, it's not the same. Like, don't you miss like going out, hanging out with friends, going out with your significant other, like making sure that you guys are having a good time, enjoying yourself? Like, this quarantine has to end. You're killing the extroverts. I know you introverts are so happy because you guys got to stay home, read, you know, get caught up on your shows. Oh my God. Speaking of shows, I definitely finished Ozark in 3 days. I started last weekend on Friday, the first season. I've never seen it before in my life. And I literally finished Friday for season 1, season 2 on Saturday, and then season 3 on Sunday. I binged it. And that thing is addicting. Like, literally, shout out to the writers, shout out to the actors. They did such an amazing job. And I literally am like, this show is epic. Ben, who played the bipolar brother as an actor, was so good. Don't mind me, gotta turn up during the quarantine. All right, now let's get this powder off of us so we can finish up this look and spend our evening in our living room. So you're just gonna lightly wipe it off. I literally always, you see how this is still here? So you literally gotta take another brush, which I use this brush, and like really blend it in hard. And make sure it's even, because I hate when you're taking pictures, it like looks so unnatural if it's not blended. See, look at this, and then look at this. Like I had to blend way more. Much better. And then work up to the eyes. I'm glad I'm doing this part first before putting on my eyelashes, because y'all remember last time I put on my eyelashes first and then wiped off the setting powder, and it took my eyelashes off, and that was a nightmare. So learn my lesson. Oh, this feels so good. I was like sweating because I'm doing my makeup and it's so hot in here. My landlord needs to come and fix the heat. Woo, child. Keep blending, keep blending, keep blending. Make sure it's all off, even underneath your nose. Ooh, I love my nose contour. I mean, underneath your eye. My perfectionist is like coming into play, making sure that's blended. Whew. Now we're gonna go in and do some more contour and highlighting. So we're gonna take my Ulta Beauty finishing powder in the color Tan Deep Warm to contour my cheeks. My forehead. Underneath my chin. Unblended when you take pictures. So you're gonna go back and blend it out just like this. Then I'm gonna take another brush and lightly go over my nose. And then you just dust it right back off. Then we're gonna lightly add our blush palette Island Hottie LA Girl Blush. I like mixing these two colors for the summer, spring, summer, because they just kind of make you look naturally tan. And I like it because it has a little bit of glitter. And then we're gonna go in on the other side. Now let's go back in and do our lashes. So again, I ordered this D-Silk Pursue Beauty fashion lashes from Amazon. And I'm just gonna pick a random pair to put on my eyes. And you wanna just take your lashes and put them up together at the tips and do this U shape as you prepare to put them onto your lid. That way they stick a lot easier and fit closely to your lid so they don't fall off and there's no gapping. And you just lightly put some glue on the strips and make sure it's evenly throughout. Sorry guys, that was a little bit crazy. I actually got a phone call just now from one of my mom's best friends from college, who's like an uncle to me. He actually just tested positive for COVID-19. So he's just calling me just to update me on his status and let me know how he is. And it's just so sad and unfortunate that people closest to you are getting affected by this virus. So, you know, this is just kind of a PSA to warn everyone to stay in the house, you know, be close to your loved ones. Don't go out of the house if you don't have to, because clearly this can affect people close to home. And I want all of my viewers to be safe. So make sure you take the special precautions to make sure that you're clean and you're not, nothing's happening to you. So I'm just going to finish up here. I'm just going to do my lips real quick. Adding this liner to my lips, and this is called Natural SP810 by NYX. As you can see, I added the other lash and then we're gonna add Fresh Base by Morphe to the actual lip. I love this color, I'm obsessed. It's very natural. It's kind of like a nude color. It goes on nice and clear. You just want to blot it. You don't want to like spread it in because it's really aggressive. So as you can see, I just did it off camera really quickly, just on the top of the lid. Really easy. Just add a little touch up right here. And that's kind of how you freestyle the wing. You do the other side. And then we're just gonna add a little bit of gloss. I have my clear gloss right here. My mom just called me. She's like, where are you going? It's like, to my living room. Then I'm adding in this Big Lash Curl Volume Mascara. Just to the top lid and to the bottom lids to add that final kind of oomph. And it kind of dried a little bit faint, so I'm gonna go back over it real quick with some eyeliner. Kind of fill in those darker parts. Let that dry a little bit. And you're just adding this for extra volume. Your lashes are already kind of dramatic because they're full length lashes, but you just want to add a little bit of pizzazz to your lashes and make sure your natural lashes blend with the false lashes, so it looks more natural in camera and in photos. As you can see, it blends so effortlessly, it almost looks like my own. I mean, I like it really clumpy. I like that kind of wow factor. And then last but not least, we're gonna add a little bit of highlight. So I take my little highlighter. And then freestyle with my finger and then add my brush and blend it out. And that's it. That's the final look. I'm just gonna take my bandana down to make sure nothing is blended. Or, ooh, look at that line, child. So I'm just gonna go back in with my brow brush and blend it right here to get that line to kind of disintegrate. Make sure my makeup is blended evenly along the edges. And that's the final look. I'll probably just go back and recurl some of the ends just to make it more natural. But yeah, I hope you guys like it. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel, Galena Beauty. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. I do these once a week. So if you want to see how I do my makeup and get it flawless, just be sure to tune in. Write down in the comments, tell me what you like, what other videos you like to see, and thank you guys, I appreciate it. Bye!